So as an Igbo man, if you don't have, from when I was young, the first experience I have about the challenges an average Igbo man had was when I was growing up in Benin. They were doing quiz competition, and I represented my school, Immaculate Conception College. That was in 1994. And then I came out as overall best. And then we went at the state level. I also came out as the overall best. And then we were to go to Lagos for the national quiz competition. My school won at the zonal level and then won at the state level. And then we were now going to go to the national to go and represent. That was when the panelists from Edo State now remember that my name is Nwankwo Johnson Ebuka. And I see Nwankwo Johnson Ebuka bụ onye Bini. How can we allow an Igbo man to go and represent us in Edo State?
Ọ dị mma ụmụ afọ Igbo daalụ m. Dịka unu ma afọ mbụ Mike Onuvo, onye isi na UGWUMBA TV. Okwu njibịa n'ụbọchị tata bụ ihe gbasara okwu a na-asị ndị Igbo anyasa. Anyasa ahụ bụ na anyị ahụgo anya eji na-ene anyị na Nigeria n'ụbọchị tata. Maka na ihe ndị ọzọ mere, onye Igbo mee ya ọ bụrụ okwu. Enweghị onye nsiri ya ga-ada iwu obodo. Enweghị onye nsiri ya ga-tinye aka n'ime ihe rụrụ. Mana ya doghị anya na ọ bụrụ na dịka onye Igbo na ị ga mee ihe ndị ọzọ na-eme, oke soro ngwere ma mmiri, mmiri ga-akọkwa ngwere ọma nkọkwa oke. Iji maatụ, anyị mara mgbe otu nwoke kuniri na mgbe gara aga sị na ya bụ na ya ga-akpọta ndị IPOB bịa na Lagos, ebe ọ bụ na ndị obodo anyị nọ na nke ha na ha ji ndị agboro na-eme nke a na-emesasị ndị Igbo. Akpọrọ ya bụ nwoke gonwe ya. Ọ nọrọ ihe karịrị otu afọ maọbụ afọ na-abụ n'ụlọ nga wee na-eshiri ọdụ n'imi tupu ekpechakwa ikpe ya bụ nwa amadi pụta. Ibia na-eme ihe ahụ na ọ bụ na-eme nke karịrị ya, onwekwa onye metụrụ ha aka kpam. Nke a bụ nke mbụ. Izu one ma one gara aga ka otu nwa amadi nwa afọ Igbo n'obodo Lagos a si na ya chọrọ ime launching na ya na-eme 1.5 billion ihe nwa na ọ na-eme na wee kpọọ ebe a na kpọrọ si na Obi of Lagos. Obi of Lagos. Amara m na ndị be anyị na-aza iri afa. Amara m na iberibe na-enye ndị be anyị nsogbu ọtụtụ mgbe ịnọkọta ikote ofu ụmụ okoko afa. Odegwudie Obi ndị Igbo na Lagos na o dere ya maka ama m na afụgo m ọtụtụ ebe a na-ede mana ahụ aja na-asị na ebe a bụ Obi ndị Igbo na Lagos ma Obi ndị Igbo na nka Obi ndị Igbo na local gọọmenti nke dị iche iche. Ọ dị bụ mbụ abụrụ mana ozugbo nwoke a kwupụtara na ya chọrọ ime ihe dị etu a, kpọọ ya Obi of Lagos. Ọ ka nọ n'ụlọ mkpọrọ kịta mụ na gị na-ekwu. Onye ga-azụ ya? Mgbe anyị tinyere jụrụ ase si ka etu ezigbo wee bụrụ na ọba nke Lagos steeti na aka ya dị na ya ịkpụrụ nya ọ bụ nwa amadi gbochie ka o ji na-abịa na Lagos na-aza Obi of Lagos na ọ chọziri ịtụnye aka n'anya. Ụta na-atagodi ya bụ kedu amaghị m ihe ndị be anyị, amaghị m ihe ndị be anyị ji ụmụ oke afọ ahụ eme. Amaghị m ihe ndị onye ụfọdụ n'ime ha na-echi ha ọzọ n'ala Igbo. Enwere mgbe anyị na-esogburu ndị a na-eme eze ndị Igbo na nke a eze ndị Igbo. Anyị sotara m ha ọfụma izizi mgbe a na-eme etu msiche na ekwesịrị iji na-eji eme maka na ihe a na-eme mgbe ahụ bụ ịkọwarụ ndị Igbo iji na-egosite ndị Igbo ihe gbasara nkwalite nke asụsụ na omenala Igbo n'ebe ọbụla ha nọ. Ụfọdụ asị ha zawa ihe ndị ụfọdụ asị ha zawa eze ndị Igbo. Ama mgbe eze mkpume bụ onye nara mmụọ n'ụbọchị tata mgbe ha na-eme eze ndị Igbo nke ha a na-eme ya oruzie ka ndị mmadụ fụrụ n'ukwugbo ego na ego na-apụta n'ime onye ọbụla tinye anya tinye ọnụ tinye ụkwụ n'aka. Onye nke a wee chọọ ịza Obi of Lagos wee kote okwu kịta. Onwebeghịkwa onye o zuru ihe ya, onwebeghịkwa onye o mere kpakam, onwebeghịkwa onye o mere by force si eweta ego bịa na a na-eme launching. Ọkwa ego ya ka ọ ka ji eme ya na-azọ okoko afa. Akpụrụ ya ọ kara na ngara n'ụbọchị tata. Otu onye nwoke bụ onye anyị niile na-eso akwalite asụsụ Igbo na Lagos steeti nọ ebe ahụ ugbu a soro na-eshiri ọdụ n'imi maka gịnị na o sonyere onye na-aza Obi of Lagos. Ọ bụrụ na ugwu mụta mgbaji ukwu agadi nwaanyị amụta ejekọta akwụrụ biko nụ anyasa ebe ọbụla ị nọ anyị maara na ndị Igbo anyị nwere etu anyị na-esi eme ihe emefere oke ihe ọbụla ịgba ọmụta ọgbakarịa ihe ọbụla anyị nwere anyị na-emefu oke mana biko ọ bụrụ na icheta na gịwa bụ oke soro ngwere maa mmiri na ọ bụrụ na ọkọ ngwere na ọma nkọ biko icheta ndị nọ n'ụlọ adịkwa ama nke ọzọ bụ otu nwa amadi a na-akpọ Bennett Igwe bụ ya bụ Commissioner of Police. In fact, mgbe m furu ya bụ ozi ihe onye dere ya na WhatsApp group ihe onye ahụ dere bụ used and dumped. Msị na nke ahụ abụghị used and dumped nọ nya ji aka eme onwe maka na ya bụ nwa amadi na mgbe gara aga bụ ya bụ Commissioner of Police na Abuja mgbe ahụ a na-eme end bad governance ndị protest onye bụ ihe siri onye ọbụla ndị ọbụla na-eme ihe na ha banye na stadium abakwa na stadium ma gaa ebe ahụ ga gbaa ha tia gas kịta ọrịcha na-arịtuo ihe a na-ekpezi ya ikpe kịta bụ na o mere nke a na-akpọ age falsification ya bụ na afọ one ọsị na ya dị na ọ bụghị ihe ọ dị ọ dụchakwa na wee na-akpụgharị kịta ihe maara na ọ bụrụ ndị ugwu otu kọọlụ si n'aka otu emia eme na onye aha nwasị nwoke m gara onwe ebe na-aga mana ọ bụrụ ndị Igbo anyị bụ oke soro na ngwere maa mmiri ọkọ na ngwere ọ ga-akọkwa oke ya bụrụ ihe m na-ekwu bụ na anyị bụ ndị Igbo na anyị ga-ama etu anyị si dịga na-eke nkwụcha emena ihe ka onye nwere onye nzọpụta maka na enweghị onye nzọpụta ya bụ nwoke a na-agwa ya bụ Bennett Igwe na-agwa ruru n'ọkwa dịka AIG ọ bụkwa na inspector na ọ bụ na corporal o ruru n'ọkwa dịka AIG ịma na onye rụchara dịka kedu afọ ya Commissioner of Police na Abuja wee mewe ihe mechaa ihe kịta a na-akpụgharị ya maka gịnị na o nwere age falsification ebe o dokwara anya na Nigeria anya na enweghị onye nwere nke a na-akpọ football age nwere nke bụ real age ndị ọrụ oyibo niile na-eme asịkwa m onye ọbụla mee ya ahụ asịkwa m onye ọbụla mee ya maka na ọ bụrụ na ị na-ewepụ afọ na onede ị na-aghọgbu onwe na-eme ka ị ghọrọ ya Chineke nke ịma na ịma mmenwu mana ihe m na-ekwu bụ na gịwa bụ oke soro ngwere gama mmiri ịfụ na achọcha na ihe ọbụla a ga-eji jide eketa afọ ha sị na o mere age falsification ọ bụrụ asị nyawama ọ bụrụ eziokwu nyawama mana onye na-enweghị onye na-ekwuri ya ache m na asị na nwata nne ya na-anọ na bụ ọ nọrọ n'ebe nke nne ya nọ ebe a na-asị nke nne ya nọ ya mechaa ime odo aka n'ime etu a ndị Igbo anyị maara na ọ dị asị akpọrọ anyị kpọbiga anyị oke ọ dị anya ụfụ a na-emere anyị maka na anyị na-aga n'ihu n'ihe gbasara ọnatarachi Chineke nyere anyị ya mere onye ọbụla bụ nwa afọ Igbo ọ bụrụ na ị ma ha asụ ngwa sụbiri ụkwụ gị na mana ọ bụrụ na ị mara asụ sụọ n'ikwe enwere okwu otu nwa amadi kwuru sonyere m aga m akpọ ya unu kịta ngwa soro m gee ntị
ndị be anyị bakwana m ọzọ nke ahụ Igbo ekene m unu so nke a na I will address this one specifically to ndị Igbo so this voice note ị nwere ike ịtụle anybody bụ onye Igbo now it is not a hidden fact that na other tribes nwere anya ụfụ n'ebe ndị Igbo nọ not just in Nigeria ọ bụkwa Nigeria almost all over the world now the average Igbo man with this knack for business with this determination follow inye Igbo man nye another tribe man 1 naira or 1 naira ibia in the next 2 years an Igbo man may have turned that 1 naira into 100,000 naira while the other person may have even gone into debt. That is the grace Chineke nyere ndị Igbo. It is the grace. So ordinarily such people are hated. Oh wait, let me use the word, let me use it as it is. Those people are hated. So as an Igbo man, if you don't have, from when I was young, the first experience I have about the challenges an average Igbo man had was when I was growing up in Benin. They were doing quiz competition, and I represented my school, Immaculate Conception College. That was in 1994. And then I came out as the overall best. And then we went at the state level. I also came out as the overall best. And then we were to go to Lagos for the national quiz competition. My school won at the zonal level and then won at the state level. And then we were now going to go to the national to go and represent. That was when the panelists from Edo State now remember that my name is Nwankwo Johnson Ebuka. And I see Nwankwo Johnson Ebuka bụ onye Bini. How can we allow an Igbo man to go and represent us in Edo State? But when I was being enrolled and all that, and when I was taking all the first year, nobody questioned that. But Olusegun when I get represented Edo State, I remember the physics teacher from Edokolo College and the chemistry teacher from Emagwero. I remember two of them insisting that since this young man is the best and he's from Edo State, let us allow. I said no. Others kicked against it. They said it would be a shame for an Igbo man or this any Edo person will oguguisi. How can the first person, because Muabu first, then the other girl was going to demonstration college. Then Muabu second, she's second, only Igbo. And then they replaced the two of us. They were fine abo. Tinyezi ndị gbalụ third na ndị gbalụ fourth. Onye gbalụ third onye Bini, onye gbalụ fourth onye Shan. And they replaced the two of us. I cried so much. That was the first day I realized I was an Igbo man. Because I was growing up. I didn't actually know the difference. So it is that from that first time I had the taste of tribalism. That I cannot represent these states because I am an Igbo man. That was when my identity became so obvious to me. So, and as I start growing up, going to tertiary institution, getting a job in Shell and all that, I saw the tribalism. Maybe some people will feel that I one day got school, we didn't see the tribalism. Not how I one day didn't business in Lagos. No, we that work in parastatals, we see the tribalism more than even in the business. Only one business now. Our own is in the company where you have different tribes. You will see that the only place all other tribes unite in Nigeria is against an Igbo man. Ichoka Nigeria unite, you will see Nigeria will unite. Ichoka Nigeria unite, oppress an Igbo man, Nigeria will unite. The only time people will not rise up and condemn evil is when it involves an Igbo man. If Peter Obi were not to be an Igbo man, he would have been the president of this country. There is no two about it. There's no doubt. He would have been sitting as a president from that 2023 election. But people saw the injustice. And then because he's an Igbo man, it was glaring, it was obvious, it was ostensible. But don't know about why? Because he's an Igbo man. And that is why I always tell Ndigbo, you must be very careful. But I have said it over and again. If I don't know, I say, engineer, even go to school. When I go to school, that you should have been reasoning. You got a reason can average a trader, can average a illiterate. They say, I know that as an educated man, as one of the elites in Igbo land, I should be the one at the forefront because I have experienced tribalism. In fact, let me tell you the truth. The educated people from other tribes are the most tribalist. In fact, the illiterate from other tribes are not even as tribal as the educated people from other tribes. Imitate the average Yoruba man. The average Yoruba man that is let me tell you one thing you must understand. Education does not erase tribalism from the dictionary of a Yoruba man. Education does not erase tribalism from the dictionary of an Hausa Fulani man. Education does not erase tribalism from the dictionary of an Edo man. Once an Igbo man is involved. So if then I say, hey, oh yeah, this person went to school, oh my God. Even in the Church of God, as a pastor, let me tell you, one of the reasons I resigned from the Christian Church of God is the obvious tribalism in Port Harcourt in such a way that an Igbo man cannot get to a particular. Anyway, some parishes an Igbo man cannot head. One is a lucrative parish. One is a big parish. An Igbo man cannot head it. It is a decision that has been taken, and they made it very clear to us that Igbo man cannot be trusted. Like even at Port Harcourt now, place like King's Palace, place like Jesus House, place like Grace Chapel, an Igbo man have never been the provincial pastor there, have never been the area pastor there, have never been the parish pastor there, because they believe that these are the biggest branches in Port Harcourt, so the biggest parishes. And why are they doing that? Because he's an Igbo man. Even when you go to churches that are being owned by Yoruba people, you will see the level of tribalism. Sometimes it's not just tribalism, you will see the level of hatred. I don't know why Ndigbo still believe that one day you will be loved in this country. Let me tell you, once you are hated, you are hated. And you don't need to offend an enemy for an enemy to hate you. There are people who just hate you because of your tribe. There are people who don't like you because of where you come from. No matter how you like, behave, no matter how you like, rather they will try to set you up against your brothers. I know now when they name holier than that attitude. I don't know the Yoruba one day tribals you don't behave like an Igbo man. You are different. And the idiot, the stupid man, because they told him you don't behave like an Igbo man, he will now be oppressing his brother so that he can appease the people, telling him that you don't behave like an Igbo man. You are very stupid. You are an idiotic Igbo man. For you to try to appease other tribe because they are telling you you don't behave like an average Igbo man, you are too different. So the thing I need some idiot issue. And then they will not join the other people to now oppress their people, not knowing that after oppressing their people, when their people is no longer, they will not remember that they're also Igbo and they will deal with them. It is high time we develop Igbo land. That is why in Anya, I try to bring every investment I can in Igbo land. I started since 2018. There was a challenge I had in Port Harcourt. From that time, I decided all my investments should be going to Igbo land. Once I have some money, and I usually call them peripheral money, maybe a money I don't have immediate need. In Jirega, go stock. Stock is a place where there's no tribalism. Go so much, and you are scared you cannot invest in Igbo land. Use the money and buy stocks. Go lose stocks. Buy digital assets. Buy stocks. There is no tribalism in assets. Sorry, there is no tribalism in Nigeria Stock Exchange. When they go to some level and you feel that use it to buy stocks. But let me tell you, don't ever believe, let an Igbo man become president. It will not erase the inbuilt and the ingrained hatred when they go Ndigbo. Under normal condition, once one of them is successful, there is a natural envy and jealousy that will come from the other two who are not successful. It is normal, so I don't even blame them. Well, okay, with all the oppression and the Ndigbo, with the way they are holding them down, yet Ndigbo they are still going far. So other tribes are thinking that we have held these people down after the Civil War. We knocked them off economically. We knocked them off from the parastatal. We knocked them off from the federal government agencies. They don't get to a level in the military, in the police, in the custom. They don't get to a level in social and so. They don't get a level. And even with all those emancipation and the way we have caged them, yet they are exploding. What if they become the president? What if we allow them to become the president of this country? What will happen? That is their fear. And their fear is it's not strange. That is what other people would have done when you see a tribe that is bulldozing their way, no matter how you try to incapacitate them. So you as an Igbo man should have this, let it sink in your brain that by the virtue of where you come from, nobody likes you. And it will be very stupid for you. Look, okay, for Igbo waking no chogo. Me and Igbo man, we can fight in our village, we can fight in Anambra fighter. But once I put a hand in Anambra state, I cannot fight an Igbo man outside of my state. I can never do that. I will look for peace. I can never bully Igbo man, River State now, bully Igbo man, court. No, I will look for a peace to resolve it. Because I know we're already endangered. I know that we're already disadvantaged. I know that there is enormous hatred against us. Why would I now come and complicate it? But I feel very bad that Ndigbo look na Lagos, I don't know Ndigbo. Ndigbo look na Port Harcourt, I don't know Ndigbo. Ndigbo look na Kano, ebe hatred, I don't know. I cannot do that. I cannot come outside of Igbo land and then start fighting my Igbo brother. Please, it is high time we start thinking home. So many people have been saying it, but in the Banya Dano. It doesn't make sense. Let's start bringing our investment home. Don't look at when you are looking at the economical benefits or the profit, you will never bring any investment home. Okay, the plaza in Nobo. Do you think it's because of the profit I build those plaza in my village? The plaza in Kulobia, do you think it's because of profit? In Ndigbo, is it because of profit? I may not even be getting anything from them. But the most important thing is that that structure is there and it have added to the demographic of properties in that particular location. I have increased per square meter the density of properties in that location. So when okay, take for instance now you call buy now. Open and didn't important now. Phone hasikita kahabido mepewe a branch of their businesses. Nobu. Do you know what Obu will become in the next 2 years or 3 years? But people are profit conscious. People are business profit in the and all that. Sorry for taking this long time, but the challenge there is that an Igbo man is endangered, and it is wickedness for you to join other people. Some people will even be the first to start condemning Ndigbo without even getting the evidence. I say Ndigbo are too pompous, Ndigbo are too arrogant, Ndigbo are attacking their host, Ndigbo are mocking their host. And then let me tell you the truth. If the Igbos are united, even if they make mistake, of course, human being, the proof of our humanity is mistakes. We make mistakes. There are some things we may not do well. But when people stand with you in your trying moment, even your oppressors, we think twice. But when your oppressor is able to divide you, when your oppressor is even you are even the one taking the cane and the whip from your oppressor to whip your brother. Your oppressor will now be emboldened and encouraged more to unleash the worst of wickedness on your brother. Let us stop being the first to attack our brothers. No matter if you will start. No. First of all, start to defend your people that this thing is wrong. Blame the government first before you now start blaming your people. But the most important thing, bunata your property back home. That is the best. No, any profit or the profit, bunata ono. And one the bank come and you man.